On about how to brand yourself utilizing social media. So I'm going to go ahead and get right smack dab into what we're going to talk about. First, I want to just cover a few fun things. Did you guys know that the average person spends 2 hours a day on social media? Isn't that crazy? Like, that's more than TV. But yes, the average person spends more than 2 hours a day on social media. You guys, 80% of the purchases that are made in our world are decided on social media. That means that people are checking social media. They're checking what people are doing. They're checking what their friends are saying and suggesting and referring to make decisions about purchases. And also, I'm not sure if you knew this, like my bottom point down there, that Facebook and Instagram actually have an algorithm. So that means that there are certain things that they push up and there are certain things that show. So how we post and how we share gets pushed up into their algorithm, you guys, and gets more feedback. And I'll explain why all this is important a little bit later on, because we're talking about branding ourselves and creating a brand. And so I'm excited to share some more about that in just a minute. But my thing with this training is to talk about how we can utilize this tool. So social media, gosh, if you're like me when it first started popping up, when Facebook and all those fun things started popping up, I was like completely opposed to it. I was like, no way, I'm not getting involved with this. This is crazy. I don't want to be stuck on my phone. Or back then it was stuck on a computer because we really didn't have smartphones back then. But what I've learned today is this is just another tool for reaching out and getting to know people and getting to see their lives, because this is where people are. So I might as well figure out how I can be there too and help meet some of their needs that might be there. So some of the ways that we can utilize this tool with our Arbonne business is to make sure that we're a product of the product. And I just realized I have a word spelled wrong on that screen. So you have to forgive me for that. But be a product of the product. And if you're utilizing and using our products, and you're going to be talking about them, not like, posting a snapshot of one of Arbonne's photos, but it could just be that you're drinking a fizz and you're utilizing our skincare and our makeup. So you're a product of the product and that you're embracing the products. You want to also make sure that you're positive, but don't be somebody that's super positive on social media and then totally mean and grumpy not on social media. So you want to be the same. We want to be ethical. We want to be people of integrity, so that we know that what we're putting out there is really us, you guys. You also can utilize, you guys, with this tool, Messenger. So direct messaging on Instagram and Messenger on Facebook. This helps us with reach outs and also helps us connect. We heard such a great tip from Whitney Haynes on our team, who talked about utilizing Messenger when you have a new person or somebody that's interested in the business, or they're interested in the 30-day, but you have a brand new consultant who's not quite sure how to answer those questions. Just have that new consultant add you and that new person to a Messenger chat, and that way they have access to learn from you as the more seasoned consultant, to learn, answer questions about the 30-day and also answer questions about the business. It's a great resource, and I'm excited to add that to my toolbox. And you guys, I want to challenge you to follow some key leaders. If you're not quite sure how to post on Instagram and all that good stuff, and you're not sure what it looks like on Facebook, follow some leaders. So follow all the leaders that are within our organization. Follow my sponsor, Carlita Nelson. Follow folks to watch and see what they do. Here's another few leaders. Now, you might notice the way their names are, it might look kind of funny because these are their Instagram names. So follow folks, because it'll help you get an idea of how they have branded, what their brand is, and what their reach looks like and what they post. And that's what I do, guys. I follow folks and I've learned from others and sit at their feet, and it works really well. So what we're going to talk about real quick, and this is going to be the bulk of my conversation tonight, is how to create your brand. Well, you are your brand. Guess what? We do represent and sell Arbonne, but Arbonne has their own brand, and that's called Arbonne. We're looking to create our own brand. So the first step I would love to have you do is to write down 3 to 5 of your core values. So you might be wondering, like, what is that? What is that? That's something that means a lot to you, you guys. So something that means a lot to you, I mean, I could share with you mine: health, faith, big thinking, transformation, empowering others. Those are some of my core values. Family. So you want to write down 3 to 5 of those. And the next thing you want to write down is what is present in your life that people can relate to. Just to give you an example of what's present in my life, I'm an empty nester. I'm getting ready to be a grandma. I'm getting ready to be a mother-in-law to my second daughter-in-law. So that's a big deal. So I'm in a different phase of life. Some of you might be moms of infants or dads of babies. You might be a nurse, a teacher. What is it that you do for a living besides Arbonne? Those are things that your present life is a part of. And so what that does is it creates a target audience. When I hashtag empty nester and things like that, it's going to pull up people who are empty nesters as well. And so this will help you to come up with your bio, you guys, because you're going to pull out some things and create a bio that outlines what your core values and what your life is all about. And then what you're going to want to do, you guys, is once you figure this out, is create a system. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just 1 day a week. 1 day a week, Monday through Friday. So this is not taking our phones and being slaves to our phones 24/7. This is like 1 day on Monday through Friday. I'm going to take 5 minutes to create a post that has to do with my brand. It could be you and your kids going to the zoo. So it could be, setting up a presentation and you're, taking a picture of your setup. It could be going to church. It could be reading a book, reading, whatever it might be, you guys. And I'm going to give you a few examples so you can kind of see what that looks like. But what you want to do is like pick Monday. If you're a person, if one of your core values is your faith, say on Mondays, I want to post something about faith. On Tuesday, I want to post something about my family, and so on. Here's the crazy thing, you guys, is like I mentioned, people are spending an average of 2 hours a day on social media. There's a lot of negativity on social media. So this gives us the opportunity to be a positive force in the social media realm. And what will happen is this is not going to like instantly grow your business. It's just going to help you be a presence in this world called social media, and it's going to build a positive presence, and people will start to wonder who you are, and they'll start to wonder what you do, and it just gives you that kind of platform. So here's an example of my two bios. So you notice the one on the left is my Instagram bio, and the one on the right is my Facebook bio. So I made sure that my photos were congruent. So they're both the same photos on both, and then you want to make sure your cover photo, you guys, aligns with your Arbonne, your branding. So don't, if you have pictures of Arbonne or whatever, I would take those out because Arbonne, remember, has their brand. So you want to put something, that's a picture of my 4 fun kids and taking a fun picture. And then you want to make sure that your bio reflects some of those things that were your core values and things that you're present. So that's why you see some of the fun things that I put on there. Another thing I added was I put my story down below. I have a story recorded on YouTube, and many of you guys have those too. And so I added that. So when somebody goes to my bio, they don't necessarily see Arbonne National Vice President. They are going to click here, and then that takes them to my story, which talks about me being an Arbonne National Vice President. And I did the same thing with my Facebook bio. So that kind of gives you an idea of how to do that. And if you're curious how I got these Instagram, things to stack like that and not look like this, I got this tip from a gal on my team, Maddie Walters. Shout out to Maddie if you're watching. And she typed it all up in her notes section on her phone and copied and pasted it to hers to look that way. So I did the same thing. Thanks, Maddie, for that fun tip. So how are we going to continue to create our brand? So once you have your values and the things you're going to do, then let's just become engaging. So I want to encourage you guys to use your Instagram stories and your Facebook stories. And it could just be a couple things a day, but your Instagram and Facebook stories are like a day in the life of. So some days I'll take people, through several things in my day, and some things it might be 1 or 2, but you're creating a day in the life of, and like I said, guys, we are a reality TV show, and we can show people what it's like. If you are into health and wellness, which I know you are because you sell Arbonne, you're inviting people into your health and wellness journey. You're showing them how you make your protein shakes, how easy this simple breakfast is. And people are going to want to know, what is that? Vegan? What kind of vegan? What kind of plant-based? What does that look like? And that's what we're doing with our Insta stories. You also want to make sure you use hashtags. And I learned this from a gal recently, is to always make sure you type in the location, hashtag, I live in Fountain Valley right now. So if I were to Instagram this, I would say hashtag Fountain Valley. And you'll be surprised, guys, people will search hashtags all day long. And so you want to make sure that your hashtags reflect some of those values. Like I'm a mom of 4, hashtag mom of 4, hashtag mom CEO, hashtag boss babe, hashtag when I'm talking about health and nutrition, I hashtag plant-based, vegan, non-GMO, dairy-free, soy-free. I go through all of those. There's so many you can do. And that's another thing that you can find and ask your upline about those. But when you follow all those different leaders, you'll see their hashtags too. And it's a good idea just to cut and paste some certain hashtags that you like in your notes section. Then you can just cut and paste them all the time when you add them. And one thing I really want to point out is to make sure you don't use stock photos. So don't use stock photos from Arbonne is what you're doing, because people will scroll right past it. You want to use lifestyle photos. So it could be a fun photo of like if you had your shaker cup in your hand and you're, you know, just talking about your nutritious breakfast that you just got to drink on the go, something like that. It's always some sort of fun lifestyle photo, cute picture of your kids drinking a protein shake, eating the protein bars, you name it. That sort of thing is what works. So I want to show you guys where you access the Instagram story. So if you're on Instagram, it's this little picture right up here. And you can also share your story from Instagram to Facebook. It gives you that option as well. Now, this is an example of a story. So when I see stories like this from other leaders that I like, I actually will screenshot them. Now, if you want to screenshot them without having to edit them, you just hold your finger down on the screen and then hit your camera. Well, so you hold your finger down and then you're going to have to hit, you know, this button and this side button to take the picture, but it will take it and it will look like the picture where you don't have to edit it, which is great. But this is a story that I got from another leader and it just gives you an idea. So basically I post this one after another. So somebody, when they're going through it, they literally go through. Now this right here is a poll. This is really important. There's a poll option on Instagram that gives you the opportunity to ask if who wants to be a part of it. I never say who is in, yes or no. I always say something like who's ready, me, or I need more info. If we're going to be doing a Facebook Live that's talking about the products, I always say, I just say, yes, please add me, or no, send me the video. So that I know. And I recently, this happened to me, and I had several people ask to send me the video, and I just added them to the group and tagged them on the video, and it works out great. And here's some examples, you guys. These are great lifestyle photos. So I'm going to take me away for a second so you can see it. If you see right here, Sarah, she's all day 2 of 30. I just had to share that I'm starting this cleanse off already 4 pounds lighter. And I love her motivation tip. Hers is to fit into her bridesmaid's dress. And you guys, she's already lost enough weight to fit into it. So stoked for her. But this is a great lifestyle post. And you guys notice she doesn't say anything about Arbonne, but she's got her Arbonne shaker cup and she's talking about a detox. This is another great lifestyle post about taking and doing the cleanse. These are just great examples. And what they do is they're just helping you to, or helping people to see, like they're engaging people in their life. Oh, I want to do what she's doing, sort of thing. Here's another couple of great posts. Whitney Haynes has one and talking about, you know, me, myself, and I were all about that mom comfort. Any given time, I have to hit the ground and change a poopy diaper. So she's talking about her mom life, right? And then Sarah has another great post right here that talks about detoxing without it being hard. And she actually, on that particular post, she had a couple of people comment saying, what is it you're doing? I want more information. So it kind of gives you guys an idea. If it's just Arbonne, then people get there, oh, I don't want to see what Beth has to say because all she talks about is Arbonne, right? We turn people off. So you just have to ask yourself, think about this being like you running into somebody at the grocery store. If is every time you run into them Arbonne, then they're going to run the other way. But if we engage in conversations and we get to know them and they know we sell Arbonne, they're going to be more interested because we weren't throwing up Arbonne. So we have to be careful too with Facebook and Instagram to not be throwing up Arbonne on those areas too. So here's some last minute tips to kind of help you with that. So most posts are seen between the time of 3 and 9 p.m. every day. That's when most people see posts. So if you want your posts to be seen even more, post them later on in the day. Remember, there's an algorithm, and when you post something and people comment on your post, reply to them with at least 3 words. So instead of just a thumbs up or whatever, say thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Whatever your response is, just make sure there are 3 words when you reply, because it will actually, Facebook will then take your comment or your post and push it back up into the feed. It'll keep pushing it back up. So that's what we want. We want it to be seen as much as possible and rotate as much as possible. And that's how that works. It'll drive your post up. Use live videos, you guys. So go live. Talk about your detox journey. Write a post on top of it saying, oh my gosh, I just lost 10 pounds. And then that's it. And then people will watch your live. But Facebook pushes your live videos up over and over again. If you post a YouTube video, they don't promote it at all, you guys, because YouTube is their competitor. So they don't even like nothing. And I've noticed that when I post like a YouTube video of my daughter or my son's videos that he makes, they don't hardly ever get seen. Like I hardly get any likes. But when I throw a live up there, it's like boom, 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 gets tons of hits. I mean, I have live of me sharing my my anxiety story from last December, and it's got like 6,000 views. It keeps getting rotated, so it's crazy. And you guys, it's okay to screenshot other people's stories. You don't have to ask for permission. Just screenshot them and you can use them. And remember, you know how Instagram, like if you're just posting a photo on the Instagram feed, it lets us share to Facebook. It's okay to share your Insta stories to Facebook stories, but copy and paste and repost an Instagram post and repost it to Facebook, because if it's shared from Facebook, Instagram to Facebook, Facebook won't promote it as much. But if it's an original post in Instagram and an original post in Facebook, Facebook will promote it a lot. And you guys just make sure, again, I'm just gonna say it one more time, make sure your feed is not all Arbonne. Remember the ratio 3-to-1, and that will help you brand yourself and have a very successful and positive presence on social media. Thanks for letting me share with you guys.